Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemore, the dad in DPS, and we are back with another episode of Scrip My Pants, a series where I go to the purveyor, spend a load of scrip, and see if we get anything fun. Either way, like, comment, subscribe, let's get on with it. Alrighty, now I think because this character has Arms Keeper on him, I'm not going to bother getting any armor today. Main reason for that being is there's not really much I'm going to get out of the armor that benefits me. However, he doesn't have a lot of weapon plans, so we're going to try and scrap them and see what we get, and hopefully we get some good weapons out of it. Now, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the comments recently, and that's really good. We've got explosive and reload speed in there. We'll be keeping that and scrapping it, and it's basically that what I'm doing is wasting scrip, and you know, there's more efficient ways of doing it. There's events coming up, all manner of different things. And to those people I say, I don't care. I literally do not care. The reason for that being is I have so much scrip that it's kind of pointless. I can get scrip so easily. It is absolutely worthless to me. Bloodied Fatman with critical damage and free perception. Now, I want to keep the perception and try... Like, this is a scrap weapon, 100%. But I have a theory that perception might get better in the future with the new perk change and things like that. So we're going to keep that, and we're going to probably scrap that, try and get those effects off there. But yeah, as I was saying, it's a case of what I'm doing is wasteful. It's always been, to an extent, wasteful. But if I were to scrap max amount of scrip, I would get 100 odd freaking, well, 110 freaking modules. That could make me one 3-star module. It's just not worth it. This is the best way for me to have fun, to create content for you guys, and to have fun myself. 3-star strength on there. We will definitely scrap that to try and get that off there. Hopefully we can get a weapon that's, you know, actually worth keeping. We've got the weapon break slower there. That is another effect I definitely need to get on this guy. Limb damage and the troubleshooters, though, absolute garbage. Then we have the Zealot's short plasma pistol, which is absolute crap. That'll be going back into the script machine from whence it came. Troubleshooter submachine gun with 25 weapon speed and VATS critical charge. Definitely a scrap weapon. I need to check which of those effects we have on this guy. This guy does not have a huge amount of effects, so we will probably scrap that as well on this character. But we'll definitely see after I've had to check. Another free strength. That is definitely another one I want on there. Strength is going to be so valuable. Already is. Let's be realistic. Melee relies on strength, but these kind of things are getting more and more valuable. The stats are becoming more and more of a viable choice for all of your perks and cards and builds and everything. Junkie short handmade, limb damage, and the ghost effect. Nothing on there I'm overly excited about. Junkies is always useful to be able to learn, because again, they might change that in the future, might be worth something. Quad short hunting rifle with bash damage and the movement speed. Now, quad is an effect that I don't have very many of on different characters, so we will definitely scrap that to try and learn it. But then we could scrap it, I don't know. Junkies the dragon, limb damage, movement speed, lemming. Nah. Nothing on there that I'm too eagerly excited about. Junkies is useful potentially, but still. Nah. Critical damage and strength, definitely a scrap weapon, because strength and the critical damage is worth something. 2-shot Enclave plasma pistol. Now, 2-shot I think is the one effect in the first star slot that has eluded me on all of my characters. So I'm taking more opportunities to scrap it anytime I see it, so we will scrap that just to see if we can get something there. The other effects on it were absolute garbage, though. Mutant's Western Revolver with VATS critical charge. VATS critical charge is the only effect on there that I'm even remotely interested in. And to be fair, I think it's the one that I have them on most characters, so probably scrap rather than scrap. Weapon speed's the only good effect on here. Again, I think I've got rapid on multiple characters, so I think I'm going to just scrip that. You know, put it back into the perpetual wheel of agony. Stalker's short western revolver with limb damage and action point cost. Action point cost is a very good effect. The rest of it, not so much. Absolute garbage so far. We've not really got anything worthwhile. Now, this one is potentially, well, I say potentially, this one's worth keeping. So we've got Executioner's Plasma Caster with critical damage and VATS critical charge. Now, this can't be traded anyway, so I can put any effect in that top effect, and then this thing is going to make things' heads go boom. So yeah, especially with the new VATS changes coming, I think I'm going to put on either anti-armor or aristocrats on this, and then this thing is going to be an absolute beast come next patch, I'm going to be able to spam the living crap out of it once I get a full set of that amazing new power armor, which should be easy enough to do on the basis that, you know, the new raids are repeatable. So one good weapon so far. Now this one is another one that I might keep and change out that top effect. We have Ghoulslayer's 50 cal machine gun with critical damage and action point cost. Now, again, with the VATS reductions that a lot of these heavy weapons are getting, this is potentially going to be something fun. And if we change out that top effect for, once again, the effects that I listed before, this could be something very interesting. I think that's what people need to take into consideration right now. The game is in a lot of flux, and things are changing and things are going different ways, and things that weren't useful might be useful soon, and things that, you know, were useful might not be as good as they were, but, you know, we'll see. Junkies 10mm with replenish action points, free agility. Free agility I definitely want off of that, and it's got junkies on there which I want to learn as well, so that's always a good idea. This one is absolute dog stalkers with weapon speed and the ghosts. Yeah, not interested in this one. That's definitely get script. Weapon speed again. I've got on too many characters to really care about it anymore. Free strength, very good effect. And there's always a chance that it drops the thing, so we will be scrapping that to try and learn it, and or, you know, get it given to us. Berserker's ultrasight Gatling laser with critical damage and free perception. The two effects that are on here are definitely worth keeping, but I wouldn't put perception on that bottom effect. And the bottom effect at this point kind of ruins a lot of weapons for me. This one, if it had something, you know, more VATS related than that bottom effect, I'd be like, I'll put a good effect on the front. But the free perception just kind of so we will probably, and I say probably, we will definitely scrap that to try and get the effects. Instigating Snub-Nosed, VATS hit chance, and damage resistance of reloading. I think that one's a script item if I ever saw any. As is potentially this one. Action point cost is one of those ones I do have a lot of effects, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll maybe decide to scrap it, I'll maybe decide to script it. We have not fully decided on everything yet. Medic Scouse, bashing, and definitely script. I'm not interested in any of those effects, especially on this weapon. You know, medics I think is potentially going to be a more viable effect, but I think you need to have a weapon that has a good fire rate on it to justify it. Vampire's 10mm pistol, last shot, perception. Again, free effects that I do want to learn, but none of them in the combination that we have. So we definitely are going to scrap this just to try and learn one of those effects if it's possible. Executioner's light machine gun, critical damage, free strength. Now, once again, if this had something else apart from strength in that last slot, I probably would have kept it. But I think it's more valuable to try and scrap it and get the effects off there. Sorry, my nose is itching like hell and I'm just scratching it. We're just about halfway. Same thing as I said for the last one. For this one, we've got the free endurance on there, the damage while aiming. I don't want the combinations on the weapon, and I do have a huge amount of Gatling lasers, I'm going to be honest. So we're going to scrap that just to try and get the effects off of it. Exterminator's tactical Gauss shotgun with damage while aiming and movement speed while aiming. Again, nothing on there I'm really too overly eager on, so we'll script that just because I've got lots of shotguns that are actually quite decent. This again, scrap for the free strength. The two other effects on there aren't particularly great either, but you know, it is what it is. Berserker's combat shotgun with double crit on there. I could swap out that top effect, but when it comes to shotguns, my cup runneth over. I have way too many shotguns, way too many different things, so that one is a scrap rather than a script. This one's pretty much the same. As much as the submachine gun isn't too bad a weapon, the Elder's Mark just completely makes this thing obsolete and irrelevant, so we're going to scrap that to try and get those two effects off there, because it's more valuable as that, but at the same time, very Definitely a scrap weapon for the perception, but outside of that, nothing interesting to say about that one. Assassin's Black Powder, VATS hit chance, damage will script, it's going back in the machine. It's absolute garbage because it's a ball bag gun. Well, one of the ball bag guns. Big extended ball bag. And this one is pretty much no different. I hate black powder rifles. Maybe in the next patch when they add that new legendary 4-star effect with the bashing stuff, I might consider it, but no. And this is the epitome of a bunch of effects that just aren't going to help me at all. 2-shot and a shotgun is absolute garbage. I see a lot of people mentioning, oh, 2-shot and shotguns are good. No, it's not. It gives you 1 extra pellet. Instead of firing 11 projectiles, you now fire 12. It is absolutely stupid when people say to me that they've got a 2-shot shotgun of any kind and they think it's good. It's not. You've got a nothing effect. You literally have a nothing. It's one of the worst effects you can have in a shotgun because it actually doesn't do anything of any importance. It's so bad. And next up, Mutant Slayer's Railway Rifle. Yeah, I mean, not any major effects on there. Last Shot's the only one I can really... I think it's scrip. It's definitely scrip. Quad Crossbow. Limb damage and ghosts. So... not it's quad. Quad's the only effect on there that I'm interested in. There's no point in me talking about it. It's just crap. The effects are so bad. What is with quad bows giving me, like, what's that? Quad, limb damage, and the ghost effect. Again, I hate that effect. It's so useless. Again, probably going to script these because quad isn't that important to me that I can't make it on other characters. So, yeah, Stalkers, that's hit chance. Movements. No, short ultra stride pace. My eyeball is like burning right now. This is so annoying, and it's trying to make me speed up the thing, but it's literally eyelash, I think, in my eye. It is giving me the rage. So there's 3 good effects on a terrible weapon. We will be scrapping this. I mean, technically, I could keep it for. Why would I need action point cost? It's got 1 bloody shot. No, this is definitely a scrap weapon to try and get those effects off there. Like even in the future, like I would go double crit on a black powder rifle with whatever damaging effect I'm going for, with the bashing build, but that's something to come in the future. Zealot's Alien Disintegrator with, yep, this one's scrap because we want the perception off there. If we get weapon speed on whatever character our scrap was on, yeah, that's always a bonus. I don't actually know if this character's got weapon speed, but I've not checked. But most of my characters do. Endurance is the only good effect on this one. Bash damage goes, not really interested, so we're going to ignore that. We've got 10 more to go. We've only really got 1 good weapon out of this. That's not 2 potentially good weapons in the future. Troubleshooter's Black Powder Pistol. Replenish action points with each kill, and resistance while aiming. Not a good effect on there, that's going back in the bin. Quad Alien Disintegrator with action points with each kill and action point cost. Now, if you saw one of my recent videos, I did have one of these and it did rather well. Replace that middle effect, and this weapon is a nice little thing. I will be keeping that, and we'll just move out that middle effect because, you know, again, the middle effects are really easy to get rid of. It's mainly the 3-star effects that I ever worry about these days. 2-shot harpoon, critical damage, and damage resistance while aiming. I have a better one of this version of the weapon, and it's not very good anyway. So yeah, we're gonna scrap this to try and get 2 effects off here: 2-shot and the critical damage. We've got 7 more items to go. Anti-armor harpoon gun with limb damage and free strike. I kind of want to keep it to play with it, but at the same time, I kind of want to scrap it. We'll decide at the end of the video. If I scrap it, I scrap it. If I don't, I don't. This one, only critical damage is the good effect in here. Executioners and the steadfast effect aren't really tickling my fancy, so that will be getting chucked back in the machine. Then we've got the Berserker short 10mm submachine gun with reload speed. Reload speed's the only good effect, and again, I have a lot of characters with that specific effect, so I'm not too keen on keeping it. Instigating Alien Disintegrator with replenish action points with each kill and reload speed. Now, I am going to tell you this one is actually decent as well. You change out that middle effect for the VATS crit thing. This is actually a very good daily driver weapon with the high-powered receiver, because you can just basically one-tap a lot of enemies. Not like a boss-killing weapon, but definitely one that you can use to take out some smaller targets like super mutants and, you know, below. Super mutants are like, in my opinion, some of the top strength regular enemies, and then you kind of go down from there. You know, robots, super mutants, kind of similar range, but for different reasons. But that was a decent one. Mutant Slayer's short pump action with movement speed and damage to super mutants. Explosive, definitely want to scrap that. Anytime I get explosive, I'm going to scrap it because I want that effect on all my characters. And this weapon is getting scrapped as well. Bloodied, limb damage, perception, 2 good effects on there, but I do not need that limb damage at all. And we definitely want to scrap it. And last but not least for today's items, Furious Pepper Shaker with bullets explode for weapon damage and free agility. Now this one is definitely going to have to be a scrap because I don't want Furious. I do want the other 2 effects, but I don't want them on this. Well, I do want the explosive on that weapon. I don't want the agility. The agility is just naff on this weapon. But Furious with explosive doesn't work anyway, so that's going to be a scrap. It's not worth the modules to make it better. Either way, let's see what my top pick for tonight is. Now, I have a couple of top picks for tonight. The first is going to be with the alien, quad alien disintegrator with action point with each kill and action point cost. Now, this weapon I found really fun. You know, I put faster fire rate in the middle and it performed beautifully. You could put crit in there, you could put, you know, that's hit chance. You know, there's a couple of different effects that would work, but this is a very decent weapon to use, fun to use, it sounds amazing, I love it. The next one is the Executioner's Plasma Caster with the double crit effects on here. Now, this is actually usable right now as it exists. It's just not as usable as it will be. A lot of, you know, heavy weapons are getting their AP cost reduced. On top of that, we're getting a new armor set that is going to pretty much make that very easy to use, and we are pretty much going to have a lot of VATS power armor builds. AP cost is going to be very low for these power armor sets, so I'm looking forward to testing this out and seeing how crazy it performs when that patch hits. Obviously, it's going to be, I don't know when this video is going out, another month. Let's just say that from when I'm filming it's a month and a bit, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Alrighty, let's see if we can learn some effects today. There are a lot of items that are here that, you know, I'd love to get the effects off. We just got a vital module. We didn't learn it, but we just got it, so that's at least something. Now, a thing that they're going to be adding in the next patch is they are going to be removing a lot of enemies dropping items like, you know, guns. And the problem that I see with that is this is going to be your issue. For anybody older players, like, it's probably not going to be much of a problem for you, but for newer players, you might run into the issue that when you go to scrap things, you're learning like actual weapon plans instead of the legendary effects. And that will be a problem for you guys. There's the other item I'm going to keep. And that will be a problem for you guys on the basis that, you know, it makes your option for scrapping things pretty much just legendary weapons. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough time for a lot of people in regards to that. I don't know how tough because, you know, we haven't had a chance to play with it properly yet. But I definitely think that it's going to be a bit more awkward for people. You know what? I'm going to keep that and put 2-shot on it, just to play around with it. And no, not that one. Definitely that one. No, we'll leave that as critical charge. That's my armor. I don't know why that's showing up the where it is. No, we're going to chuck you in the thing. You've not got anything I want on there. That's my armor again. Action point cost on there is the only thing, so we won't bother. Won't bother because of weapon speed. Get a lot of action point cost stuff today. Get rid of that because it's garbage. A lot of strength as well, actually, now that I'm looking at it. A lot of items with strength on it. Weapons break slower, definitely want to learn that. I don't know if I have that on any character. Because it's got weapon speed and critical charge, we'll scrap it. No. That's going in the script machine, as is that. That's good. That had the middle effect, though we got the steadfast module. I mean, one thing I would say is if you unlock plans that you don't want, there is an upside to it. Because it basically means that you cannot unlock them again, and it gives you a chance to unlock them in the future. Either way, relatively successful. We got a couple of weapons that will be and can be modded into absolute beasts. So I'm quite happy. So yeah, that was that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that usual jazz. As always, we will be bringing more content to you in the future. I will say that, I'm going to be honest, Fallout 76 is getting a little bit boring this month. You know, the new update was a massive flop in my opinion, and we are pretty much all just waiting for the December update that gives us the raids, which I think is going to bring a lot of people back to the game for that. But until then, it's kind of slim pickings. So I don't know how consistent the videos are going to be. I'm going to try my best, but my motivation to play until December is pretty much waning. I do still have loads of script that I can spend, so there is still going to be script my pants videos, but you know, we'll see what happens. Either way, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you next time in the wasteland.
Down in a vault where the echoes dance, purveyor murmur takes her chance. With scraps and scrip, she makes her trade, and in this fallout world, fortunes are made. Gems and trinkets, treasures galore, behind her counter well to explore. Her ghoulish smile, a cryptic jest, in the wasteland's heart, she is the best. Gems and trinkets, treasures galore, behind her counter, wealth to explore. Her ghoulish smile, a cryptic jest, in the wasteland.